What's up, guys? How many of you has a box like this? I'd be willing to bet 99.9%. Because before we got into serious collecting, before we found out there were these amazing knives out there, we bought all these throwdown knives that looked cool. We thought they were great knives. We never ended up carrying them very much because they weren't great knives. Um, they didn't give us that happiness that these Spydercos and Medfords and Marfiones and Microtex do. So we ended up with this box. And I wanted to kind of go through mine today and kind of show you what I had. And a couple of these, this one and I think this one, were sent in by a member who sent them in for a giveaway. And of course, I'm not going to do a giveaway with these knives because I don't think that anyone in our group collects these knives. I think we already have a collection of these we don't use. This one was just a Gerber throwdown, probably a $10 knife. This one kind of caught my interest a little bit. It says Colt since 1838 or 6. I can't see anymore. But that didn't seem like quite such a throwdown. It's CT30 440 stainless. It doesn't seem like too bad of a knife, but it's got some tremendous wear on it. Looks like it was rolling around in a toolbox somewhere. That's not as bad as most of the knives I have in my box. But I want to kind of go through these. So, this is the latest throwdown I acquired, actually, as a pretty seasoned collector. You guys know I hit these pawn shops all the time. And sometimes I come out with winners. Sometimes I come out with, most of the time I come out with nothing. Sometimes I come out with a winner. Very seldom. So I thought I had got a winner. I think I paid $30 or something for this knife. And it was pretty dirty in their showcase, and maybe $20. Wasn't much. It was kind of rough. So I get it home and put it on the Wicked Edge and go to sharpening on it and reprofiling it, and it will not get sharp. I'm like, how does a knife not get sharp? What's wrong with this freaking thing? You know, CPM S30V, and a lot of you seasoned collectors already know exactly what I'm about to say. This is a clone. This is the one time in my life that I got burned with a clone. And I could have took it back and raised hell and got my money back. It's all the way the other side of town, but I decided to keep it. One, for a reference to look at, for to compare to other knives if I ever go to buy one, so I have something to kind of show me what's real and what's not. But once the guys told me it was fake just by seeing it in a picture in the group, it instantly clicked that of course it's fake. It doesn't feel like a Spyderco. It doesn't give me that feeling, you know what I mean? When you put a Spyderco in your hand, you feel that quality. Even if it's old, even if it's an old beat up Spyderco, you still get that feeling of quality. And this one didn't give me that. Even though it appears, all appearances to a novice, this appears to be a PM2, I believe. It's a PM nothing really, but uh, actually I think it's a copy of a PM3. Let me see. Where's my? Oh, there it is. This is my real PM3. So it's either a copy of a PM3 or it's just. Actually, it's a copy of a PM2. They didn't even get the blade length right. So it's a really bad copy. Uh, I couldn't get the screws out. They were trying to strip on me because they're probably freaking aluminum. Um, the liners are not milled out at all. They're just solid pieces and they're rough looking. But you know, this is not a video on clones. I just wanted to go over this to kind of show you my junk drawer knives. But anyway, I keep that clone PM2 around for a reminder. Be careful when I'm buying used knives. Here's one we all got. We all got this thing. And this one's actually not too bad as far as quality goes. It's got a lock on it, which I haven't seen in a lot of them. It's a razor blade utility knife, and this thing is actually fairly handy, especially if you're working with a bunch of dirty shit and opening sacks and stuff. I would probably pull this one out and actually use it. This one came in a box of, so there was a box of knives, a bunch of these that came in a box of knives that I got at a pawn shop, and there had to have been 10 knives in there, and they had it on clearance for like $10, $15. Well, I talked them down to $3 flat, no tax, and I got several of these knives for $3. I've given a bunch of them away. I sold one of them. I sold one of them to pay for all of them, so I got them less than free. All right, let's move on to the Browning. Woo! Expensive knife, right? They make expensive guns, so their knives must be expensive. Nope. No, they're little cheap throwdown knives made in China. It's kind of neat to look at, but that's about where it stops. It doesn't have the blade steel on it. It's a model 0069, feeling fine. It's got the wood grain outside. It's a nice looking knife. I think that's about where it stops. It's a cheap liner lock. Terrible action with looks like plastic washers. I'm sure they're nylon, but you never know. Mossy Oak makes some great hunting stuff. Must be a great knife, man. That'll work. Probably my thinking when I bought that. No, it's got a good edge on it. It's pretty sharp. I sharpened all these. One day I got bored. No steel markings, so it's mystery steel. I'm sure it's made in China. Oh, hoopty liner lock. If you didn't have none, and then these all have a common theme: vinyl washers. Action is just horrendous. If you didn't have nothing else, that'll do the job for sure. Here is one we see a lot of. Walmart and all of them sell a lot of these. This one feels like it weighs about a half ounce. Half serrated, isn't that classic? BX316. Yeah, it's just not a good knife. Razor sharp, but after you use it for about 6 minutes, it wouldn't be. Here's one that's not a cheap brand. Before I was a knife collector, I thought these were high quality knives. You can see I didn't know how to sharpen back in the day, and got a nasty edge on it. But this is a cool looking knife for sure. Neck knife, completely useless for anything. It's cool, no doubt about that, but it's absolutely worthless. The OTF. This one, the OTFs first came out. I bought this at a gun shop. And of course, I had no idea about any name brands or anything years ago, and bought this thing. It still functions. That's no telling what the steel. Oh, it's 440 stainless. Good old 440. Went out of style back when Reagan was president. But yeah, it still operates. It's a junker. Another SOG. This one, I think, came with that neck knife. China. No, you can see I was practicing my awesome engraving there. Let's see, this is the Micron 2 Special Edition Sprint Run. Not junk. Let's see. What brand is this? This is a True. It's just True. That's all it is True. But it's really false, because it's junk. Piece of crap. So this one I actually bought at a garage sale years ago, because it just seemed like and it is. I believe it is a quality knife. Let's see. I haven't looked at this thing in years. I don't even remember what it looks like. It's a Barlow, so it's a good brand. Barlow Service Center. No date on it. It's pretty old. So these are the kind of thing people's companies give you. And this one was Hydrill. That's why I bought it. It was Hydrill. It's a company that I used to be affiliated with years ago. They were a big company. Barlow stainless. It's a good little knife. It's a cool little knife. It's got a nice little wood grain on it. Brass liners. That's why I bought it. That's actually a quality little knife, especially for its time. Anyway, that's my throwdown knife collection. I just want to kind of go through that for kicks with you. I'm sure every one of you got one. Anyway, killing some time on a Saturday. You guys have a great day. God bless.